Hello everyone and welcome back to Passion Sundays, the best way to end the week and start another. Our guest today has an interesting twist on sales, question-based selling. She's a specialist that loves what she does. Nina Sunday, thank you very much for being...
Lovely to meet you, Moustafa.
So tell me more, how do you end up trying to sell by asking questions rather than by selling?
Well, I noticed that when I went into the pitch and spent a lot of time with them listening and me talking, that I couldn't really calibrate whether they were interested, whether they were buying signals, and unless I actually switched it around and asked lots of questions. And I would find through not selling, and I would look back and reflect and go, well, how did that interaction go? And I find the penny dropped when I realized with that one particular client where I thought I'd gone really well with my pitch, I went, that guy hardly talked at all. I hardly asked a question about what his needs were, what he wanted us to do for him. So that got me on the road to doing what I call a diagnostic, which is lots of structured questions to draw out what the prospect wants or needs, but also to lead them down the path where I use lots of words like, do you ever find it frustrating that, or do you ever get confused by, so a few little pain words added in there to try and emphasize the pain of not taking action and maybe demonstrating return on investment.
So what I'm interested in is to understand how to use this question-based selling to be able to sell my passion to either my boss or to investors or to anybody out there to support me.
Well, I think you have to start with the person in mind that you're communicating with and see it from their angle. So you ask questions about have you ever experienced, or like if you start with have you and think about words like do you ever feel frustrated by, or have you ever wondered, whatever is the angle you're going to take. And I think it also helps if you think ahead of time, maybe craft some questions and write them down, not to learn by rote, because it's not good to learn by rote, but it primes your brain to be prepared so the questions come out in that format. So, for example, when I'm doing maybe an exercise with a sales team, I walked around a place called Luna Park in Melbourne, and there were lots of statements saying, take a photo home from riding on the ghost train. And I took lots of photos where there were offers to buy something. And what I do is I project those and I say, okay, turn that into a question. Would you like to take a photo home of you riding on the ghost train? Have you got a special event like a birthday party coming up? Instead of all these statements, all their signs were statements. So I get them to think, okay, if you have any statement about your product or service, turn it into a question. If we could change the way that you, if we could save you costs in relation to your marketing, would that be of any value to you?
So let's say I'd come to you and say, if I could make you feel more passionate about every day. I see.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So don't assume that people want to be passionate.
Okay.
Would you like to be more passionate about your life?
Okay, I see. And that naturally gets the buy-in.
That's right.
How can we use this technique to deal with objections and challenges? Because we go through tough times in life, and it'll be very useful if we're able to use such systems and techniques to help us through the tough times, not just the good times.
Well, that's right. Well, of course, it depends on the objection, but whatever they come up with, it's really just turning it around into, just think of it in terms of a question. So can you give me an example of an objection?
I don't think your passion can help me. I think I gave up. My company is never going to be passionate.
When I hear that, I feel that I switch back into some of the negotiation techniques that I've learned. Like there's a very classic one called feel, felt, found, where it's kind of creating an anecdote. You say, I hear what you say. Many of my clients have felt that way in the past, but when they did take a step forward, they found that it made a difference to their bottom line results. And so in future, I find that most people decide to actually give it a go. So feel, felt, found is a template, if you like, a structure for actually turning an objection into, this is what some clients have felt in the past, then they made the shift, and this is what they found in the
So you
future.
kind of handheld them into from wherever they're stuck. That's very smooth. So you go from, well, would you like to be more passionate? No, I gave up. It's never going to be. My company hates it. Yeah, of course, a lot of people feel that, but I guess some people looked into it and considered it, and those who did went that, and I naturally kind of ushered them into.
That's right. That's called a third-party referral. You're kind of starting with the phrase "some people, many people," and it's people kind of like to belong to a group. So if you can give them an anecdote of what some people experienced, that they were just like them, so they feel accepted, like they're not strange for feeling that way, but then they took the step and then they found that it improved their life. That kind of creates a model or an anecdote that they might relate to.
I love it. Thank you very much for this amazing techniques that would help us sell our passion to the world. Pleasure. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Passion. What do you think? I hope you found this episode useful to help you sell your passion to the world. If so, share your comments on the blog below and share it with your friends. And if you'd like more tools, tips, techniques, and exclusive interviews that I only share on my website, go to Moustafa.com. Until next episode, live passionately.